Hey everybody, it's Glory with Disney Adventure Hub. If you're just popping into this series, I am sharing with you my adventures in physical therapy and rehabilitation so that I can walk Disneyland in a couple of months. So, I am starting week 3 of physical therapy, and I had my appointment 2 days ago. Things are feeling a little bit better in the left hip. That's where I've been having the problems. And I decided that today, since I don't have physical therapy or a group fitness class, I would start walking and assessing where I'm at, because that is a very important part. And I'm getting a little anxious that I can only walk for a few minutes, and Disneyland is coming up. And we all know walking Disneyland is no joke. So I just decided to walk for a few minutes today, and I ended up doing almost 20 minutes. And it started out really tight, so I started slow, and then it loosened up a little bit. Then it got really painful, and I decided to turn around. And as soon as I did that, it felt fine. So, what the what? I don't know. Bodies, right? But I am encouraged to know that I didn't need to call somebody to come pick me up after 5 minutes or something. So that's where we are today. I should be getting my new physical therapy exercises tonight, and we'll see if that does anything. But so far, in the practice and the appointments, we've been doing a moist heat with electrical stim, or like a TENS unit. We've been doing the pelvic reset exercises to untwist and rotate my pelvis, which causes one of my legs to be shorter. And we have done some hip strengthening exercises as well as stretches. And then we did dry needling again this week, which is, if you're unfamiliar, it's like acupuncture, same kind of needles, but it's for a different purpose. So instead of aligning your energy, you are releasing muscle tension. So we did that, and the massage gun on my hip on Monday. And the massage gun actually really seems to be helpful. I do have one at home, so I should make sure and use that. I was tentative there for a while that it might make things worse, but seeing as how it doesn't seem to, I think I will introduce that into my daily routine at home. So I'm still doing the exercises from the therapist twice a day, unless I have a group fitness class, because I don't want to overuse those. And then I'll just do those strength exercises once a day, but I'll do the pelvic reset and the stretching twice a day. So there we are. Things are looking up. We have just over 2 months until the trip, and we'll be there for very many days doing very much walking. There's a little crow or a raven or some friend over here. I don't know the difference. Do you know the difference? Anyway, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and I hope that it gives you some insight and inspiration into your own physical health so that you can tend to it and come walk Disneyland with me. Okay, I'm coming at you with more on week 3. Now, I had my Friday PT appointment yesterday. Today is Saturday, and things are feeling better in that left hip. I'm not exactly sure which thing we're doing is being helpful. We've been doing the dry needling, which yesterday we did in the front of the hip, and found some really great tight and sore spots there. We've also been using the massage gun, and then still doing the pelvic reset exercises and strength for the hip. Now, this morning, I tested my leg length before I did anything, and my legs were even, which means when I was laying down, for me to see it the best, I lay down with my legs straight up in the air and look at the ankles and if they line up. And normally my right ankle is always lower. This morning they were even. I can't even believe I held a pelvic reset since yesterday. That's amazing. So I'm really excited about the progress. I've also been using this machine that a coworker developed, didn't develop, is selling, I don't know, but it uses energy and plasma and oxygen to oxygenate the blood, and it has a 432 hertz pulse with it. If you're not familiar with sound healing or frequency healing, 432 hertz is very important and healing frequency. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure how the science works with the Tesla coil and the energy and whatnot, but the light, the energy, and the sound are all very healing. So I just borrowed it 2 days ago. So I put it on my hip for 20 minutes the first day. It felt okay. I did it for 40 minutes last night, and I have no idea if it's helping things or not because I'm doing it before I go to bed, but it might be contributing. But either way, something is helping. I was able to do all 3 of my group fitness classes at the gym this week without any problems, so hallelujah. Anyway, this morning we're gonna go for a walk. Now, my last video, I did a 20-minute walk. 10 minutes, started hurting really bad, turned around, and the final 10 minutes was fine. So I'm curious to see how this goes. So I've got my timer, my walking timer set, so let's go. Okay, it has been 10 minutes and I'm still feeling okay. Definitely not like 10 minutes the last time where I had to turn around. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm kind of excited. Our trip is in almost exactly 2 months from today, and I have to be able to walk more than 20 minutes, so I'm continuing on. It's like being on Grizzly River Run. Ah! Just like it. Woo. Okay, it's been 30 minutes and hip is starting to hurt, so I'm just gonna stop here in the shade of this lilac bush and do a number 4 stretch. Like this. That really helps open up that hip and piriformis muscle and all that. Okay, well, 30 minutes better, but I'm still not home yet, so. All right, let's keep going. Okay, well, I did about 1.5 miles, about 3,000 steps, and that is definitely on the road. After my number 4 stretch back on the road, it helped, definitely loosened things up, and so I was able to get back to where I was going. I would hate to just be stuck in the middle of nowhere. I need to call for help. So that's why I've just been walking around my neighborhood to begin with, you know. All right, well, that'll do it for today's adventure. It was nice to visit Grizzly River Run and Alice in Wonderland on the way, and we'll see what tomorrow holds in store. Good morning. We are rounding out week 3 with a final walk. I was planning on going yesterday, but it didn't happen. There was just too much stuff going on. So yesterday was a rest day. Today we'll be starting week 4 with my next PT appointment this afternoon. So this morning we're walking. So I've got my little walk timer set. I'm changing it to distance instead of time. Today I'm shooting for 2 miles, so we'll see how the hip feels after a mile. But so far this morning I've done all my PT hip reset practices, stretches, and exercises. So it's feeling a little bit worked. Oh, somebody's out mowing their grass. It's a lovely cloudy day here, which is fantastic because this summer has been hot, just hot, you know, summer. And I'm ready for fall. And it'll start feeling like fall here pretty soon. And it'll get cold, and then we'll go to Disneyland in 2 months and it'll be hot again. So that works for me. But it's getting to be an exciting time right now for me because we are almost 60 days out from our first day at Disneyland, and you all know what that means, right? Of course you do. It's almost time for dining reservations. So I have a little spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet person. I don't know about you, but I dig me a spreadsheet. And I have a spreadsheet of all of the dining locations for everywhere in the Disneyland resort area. So it lists all of the counter service, quick service, table service locations for Disneyland, California Adventure, and all of the hotels, and that's a low tree. All of the downtown Disney dining locations. And I have a link to each of the pages on their website where you can go into their menu. So I did this for our last trip and the one before that, which was Disney World. Oh, that one took a long time. But the reason that I do this so deeply is because I have some pretty strict eating preferences. I don't have allergies per se, you know, or intolerances other than normal human body. But I typically prefer to eat vegan, gluten-free. Super limiting, especially if you're going somewhere where you eat out all the time. Because let me just tell you, chefs do not create recipes that are good for you. They taste good, and that's what they want. And a lot of things, even if they're vegan, are still fake food. Like, you have any idea what's in Impossible meat? Also not good for the body. So not good. Well, we're passing by more Grizzly River Run. Well, you can't really see them. Sprinklers. But these are a little tame. I want to say a little bit more like Tiana's Bayou, but that's gotten kind of aggressive since they introduced that theming to it. So it's a little bit more like pirates. We got this. Okay. Anyway, so I go through all of the menus to see what kind of whole food options they make. And there's not many. And even if I find a salad that has some great stuff on it, they'll put bacon or croutons, which clearly not gluten-free, or whatever, you know. So anyway, and no hate on anybody that eats that way. That's just not how I choose to eat. But it does make it hard to eat that way when you go out. So, Disneyland dining reservations coming up in a couple of days. And I'm going through all of the menus to try and figure out what I want to eat. Especially if it's at a table service restaurant that requires a reservation. So that's what I'm in the process of trying to figure out. What dining reservations do I need to make starting, I think it's tomorrow. And having come from Disney World, 2 years ago, where we were staying on property, and I don't remember if that was the condition, but we could make all of our dining reservations for our entire stay, I think, as soon as we made the first one, started our reservations there. But with Disneyland, it's one day at a time. So we're going to make one reservation a day at a time. And we'll be there for 6 days. Because I'm going to do a lot of filming. This is a filming trip for me. And it will be a lot of walking, which I'm a little bit nervous about, right? Because of this hip thing. And if I haven't mentioned it before, maybe I have, but before that Disney World trip a year and a half ago, my Disney trips consisted of me being in a wheelchair. And that would take place generally by the end of the first day. And it wasn't my hips specifically at that point. It was my SI joints, which is your pelvis area in the back. They just could not handle things. Noisy. Hold on. They couldn't handle all the movement. So I started taking these classes at the gym that worked on core strength, which included hip and back strength. That's kind of all part of your core. And so that was extremely helpful for me. So these past 2 trips, I have been able to walk with, of course, a lot of breaks. But now knowing I'm going to be walking for 6 days straight, getting a little nervous. Anyway, that's what's happening right now. Today, almost 60 days before our trip. So, very exciting. Looking forward to it. But it's a lot of work going through all those menus. So let's see. My hip is feeling okay. What I've noticed is when I sleep, I'm a side sleeper. I don't know about you, but I can't help it. It's just how I have to fall asleep. But when I lay on my left hip, it really aches. No surprise, makes total sense. But I think it wakes me up during the night. So I can try not to do that. That doesn't always work. It's feeling a little achy right now, and maybe just because I already did all of my exercises and things. But I'm hoping that will get better soon. All right, well, I'm gonna pause and keep walking, and I will be back with an update. Okay, it's been a little over 15 minutes and starting to limp. It's getting frustrating. So I'm gonna do that 4 stretch again. Oh, yeah. That's the one where, I don't know, can you see that? Make your legs into this 4 position. You can do it sitting, laying down. I usually do it in the morning, laying down, but it's also part of the stretching regimen from my physical therapist. And I do that in the morning, 3 sets of 30 seconds, laying down, really pushing the knee out. And actually doing that, it's really funny. By the 3rd one, it really makes my hip ache. But doing it after I've been walking to stretch helps. So I don't know. Does it hurt? Does it help? It's hard to tell. Bodies are so complex and complicated. It's hard to tell what is affecting what, and if we change something, what is that doing? I don't know. Anyway, okay, that stretch helped. I feel like I'm not limping right now. I have to really assess, a lot of things to pay attention to in a body. But I'm going to keep going and maybe just add some of those stretches in. It's all right. I'm going to keep going. I just love the beautiful things in nature. Look at those perfect little water droplets. Love it. Oh hey, it's my namesake. Did you know I was named after the morning glory? You got it, because I was born in the morning. That's lovely. I love wind ornaments. Okay, I'm at about 1.5 miles, which looks like about 2,800 steps for me. And as long as I pause for a while and just stretch the hip, it seems to recover, and I keep going, so off we go. I'm gonna take a break. I'm at about 1.75 miles. I think it was, oh, I don't remember, 3,500 steps, something like that. But I think I'm making good progress. I now know that I can stretch to keep walking. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this walk and talk journey today. I hope you're doing some great things for your physical readiness to get prepared for your next Disney trip. If you have found any of this content helpful, or if you're still here, if you could like, that would be very helpful. And subscribe if you're looking for more Disney content in a myriad ways of, well, I want to say enjoyment, not always enjoyment, but entertainment information. And there will be more entertaining content coming up. Anyway, hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.